Nothing more heroic than saving a person's life. That's exactly what a group of first responders did and are now being recognized for those efforts. News 3's Carrie Keene has more on the story and why this is so important to the Sikeston Department of Public Safety.
In the early morning hours of January 27th, Sikeston DPS Fire Division responded to a house fire.
They were met with heavy flames at the front door and smoke from all areas of the house.
The woman who called 911 in the first place was still inside and still on the phone.
Our primary concern at that point is life safety.
Immediately, DPS jumped into action. They managed to get into the structure and get the caller out of the flames and smoke.
We train hard, we push them hard, we expect a lot from them, and they give that in return. So it's second nature. They don't hesitate to go into a burning building, put themselves in danger.
Saturday, the 6 individuals who were part of that were recognized at the Sikeston VFW during the First Responders Banquet with a Life-Saving Valor Award and a new pin.
When they save a life like this, I think this is just really emphasizes what we do, why we do what we do, and it reminds them how important it is and that people's lives are actually on the line, and you can make a difference.
Although DPS feels supported by the community, the day-to-day of the job can overshadow some of the positive aspects. That's why it's so important to them to continue to recognize the efforts of officers like the 6 who saved the woman's life in January.
In this day and time and the climate that there is, officers can really get focused on the wrong things sometimes. I've done that myself. It's real easy to do, and you got to remember why you're here, what you're here for. It's really for the community that you're here for.
It reminds the entire Department of Public Safety what their purpose is: to protect. And it's a mentality that they feel they've built through the entire agency.
There's a lot of pride. We got a lot of new guys. It's a different world we work in today for all first responders. So they're doing a good job. They're pulling together.
A mentality that is reflected in the 6 individuals who were recognized this weekend. Reporting in Sikeston, Missouri, Carrie Keene, News 3.
Also in Sikeston, kids get to see what it's like being a cop for the day. The Sikeston Department of Public Safety hosted a Kids SWAT Day. It took place at the Sikeston Sports Complex yesterday. Children under 12 ran through an obstacle course. There they are. That course was made by the Special Operations Group. They were there to coach kids through the course, show off emergency vehicles, and then eat some lunch. Later on, the Trunk or Treat, the very first, had more than 70 vendors come to celebrate Halloween just a little bit early. And before you start your work week, we have some traffic alerts that we want to pass along. Part of Route HH in Stoddard County will be closed for pavement repairs. This is between Route 153 and Route CC near Baker, Missouri. Work starts tomorrow morning from 7 to 5 p.m. That's if there's no bad weather. And another work zone is set for tomorrow and Tuesday, this time in Paducah. Crews plan to restrict one of the lanes on Albin-Barkley Drive for base repairs. This is between exit 7 on Interstate 24 and the intersection at Lone Oak Road and Hannah Plaza. Both intersections at Cardinal Lane and South 40th Street are included in this work. Officials say access to Albin-Barkley Drive will be limited at those points. Work starts at 8 in the morning and will finish around 1:30. And coming up, an estimated 6,000 people went to the small village of Makanda this weekend. We'll give you a look at the event attracting all those people. Plus, ready or not, Nick is tracking a big cool down, but just how cold will it get? Nick will let us know in his full forecast just ahead. Hey Egan, while you have iNews down for, I put a pronouncer in for the victim's last name. Do you think you could change it to the correct spelling for the early and late rundown for the morning show? In the top story for the late rundown and the early rundown, I changed the victim's last name to how I would pronounce it. Can you change it back to the correct spelling? Thank you. Well, day 2 of the SI Made Expo wraps up at the Marion Pavilion today. Around 2,500 people came out to support local business owners and their products. The expo also gives back to the community. A $4,000 check was donated to Operation Honor Guard. State Senator Valor was there to help present the check. He says all 3 years of the event has raised close to $40,000 to Operation Honor Guard and the Veterans Honor Flight. Well, a pretty decent day for those who got out for any fall festivities. Storm Track 3 Chief Meteorologist Nick Housen joins us now. Nick, still one of those days where people might have wanted to wear like a long sleeve or a jacket, though. Still a little chilly.
But perfect fall-like weekend, that's for sure. I'm not ready for what's coming though ahead for us. Some really cold weather. In fact, bitterly cold temperatures. We are likely to see freezing temperatures over the next few mornings. National Weather Service has issued freeze warnings. Really, they extend across much of the central U.S. all the way to the Appalachian Mountains and then westward almost to the Rockies. And for many, this is going to signal an end to the growing season. Now, tonight we're not going to drop below freezing, but tomorrow night and then again Tuesday night, we are going to do so, and the entire region under a freeze warning as we make our way into Monday night and then first thing on Tuesday morning. Once again today, not a bad day to be out and about this evening. We have seen that cold front move through though. Temperatures now starting to fall back pretty quickly, especially as the skies start to clear out in the wake of that cold front, and we start to see some of that cooler air pumping in from the north. It's going to continue to cool down. Notice the clouds also pushing out of the region. Once again, clear skies. Winds have started to lighten up just a bit. That is a perfect recipe for some chilly weather ahead for us. Right now outside, temperatures dropping all the way back into the upper 40s right now. 48 in Carbondale. We've got 49 in Harrisburg, 47 at this hour in Mount Vernon, 54 still in Paducah. You can still see some of that warmer air hanging around across parts of the Missouri Boot Hill, Northwest Tennessee, Western Kentucky, but temperatures will continue to fall back overnight, and most of us waking up first thing Monday morning into the mid to upper 30s. Some patchy frost is possible, but tomorrow's just going to be a chilly day. One of those days where if you maybe have not dug out the winter coat quite yet, you may be doing so tomorrow. Even during the afternoon hours, temperatures in some locations may struggle to get out of the 40s, and then even colder air pushes in for Tuesday. In fact, near record cold temperatures on the way for much of our region. So there goes the cold front this evening, making its way now closer and closer to the Appalachians. All the colder air spilling in across the Canadian border. These are actual temperatures right now. Cedar Rapids, Iowa at 39, Duluth, Minnesota right now at the freezing mark, and all of that cold air is working its way southward, and at least through the first half of the week, we are talking about almost feeling like winter. A little not a really common air that we're seeing move this way, at least for the middle of October. Tomorrow morning, waking up mid-30s. Once again, the light winds could lead to some patchy frost in a few locations. Strong winds, though, Monday afternoon from the northwest, pushing in the cooler air. We're going to see a lot of sunshine, but these are afternoon highs, only in the low 50s. And then as we look ahead to Tuesday morning, mid-20s. These are not wind chills. These are actual temperatures. So if you've got some potted plants you still want to try to hold on to, maybe the mums, we want to bring those in Monday night, first thing Tuesday morning. And then Tuesday afternoon, upper 40s, low 50s for highs, another breezy day. And then Wednesday morning looks to be the coldest. High pressure builds in, winds finally start to relax just a bit. And with clear skies, we could see a few rural areas even dip back into the teens. So a hard freeze pretty likely Tuesday morning, and then again Wednesday morning, starting to gradually warm back up towards the end of the week. In addition to the cold air, it's very dry air moving in. So once again, as winds pump in here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday afternoons, we are likely to see a very high fire threat. We saw a lot of field fires back on Friday. We may see more of those over the next few days. However, it is a short-lived cool spell towards the end of the week, quickly warming back up. We're back in the mid-60s Thursday. Look at that, 70s on the way for Friday, and then mid to upper 70s Saturday and Sunday. So a little brief taste of some cold weather here. I'll tell you what, Brooke, if we actually hit 25 or below, it'll be the earliest we've seen temperatures that cold this early in the season, dating all the way back to the year 2000. So yeah.
Well, it seems like just a couple of weeks ago we had near record highs, and now it's just like the complete opposite.
Less than a month ago, we had some areas hit 100. Yeah, here we go.
All right. Thanks, Nick.